guys, today's book is I Thought It Was Just Me, But It Isn't, by Brene Brown. I have to admit, this book did touch a lot of nerves. It did really make me stop and think. Brene Brown's written this book excellently, based on research on women about shame. There's lots of ideals about where shame comes from, what shame is, how it harvests, and real life events that most of us will have experienced in some form or another that can deep down cause this sensation that she explains to be shame. One of the main takeouts for me of this book was the combat of shame is empathy, and is actually learning about empathy and sympathy. Sympathy is a very different thing to empathy, and actually being empathetic is really about listening to what someone has to say, is about helping them to know that you are there with them in the moment, not just listening because you think you should. And it takes a lot to learn how to be empathetic, or at least to want to be empathetic. There are so many different reasons why people might experience shame or have feelings of uncertainty or realization about what's happened in their life. And it's a great read to be reassured that there are so many people, especially as a woman reading this book, so many other women who in the world experience the feelings that you might feel, the thoughts you might have, and actually how you can overcome some of those things. Brene Brown talks a lot about how you unpick these with webs of people who either add to those things that have happened in your life and your shame, or can help you combat those in other different ways. And there are so many small snippets of things based on real life interviews with women who have experienced such events that can really help you to just stop and think about how you can approach different situations in life. Towards the end of the book, she also touches on how these issues can affect men and children and educators and practitioners, and how really it's an awareness of the situations people find themselves in, themselves or having been done to them, and actually how we can all really work together to build a strong community, a thriving friendship and commitment to one another, and how actually our actions influence how other people feel about what's happened to them in the past, about what might happen to them in the future. Like I said, it wasn't an easy read. It's actually quite touching, and there were several times where I had to put it down to go back and reflect on things that touched me personally, and come back to it perhaps with a different outlook, or when I was feeling in a stronger frame of mind. Having said that, I love Brene Brown. I think she's an amazing writer, and I think the research that her book is based on is absolutely phenomenal. And it is a fantastic aid and a brilliant book to remind people that we are never alone in our decisions. We're never alone in the things we've had to face. And there is a wealth of research out there based on the fact that there are things we can do to make life seem that little bit better. So, I hope you can find some strength from it too. I hope there are things in it that you found that I have that will really help you to work through issues you've had, things you may not have faced, or even just to realise what people around you might be going through. So that's just as important as feeling it for yourself. So enjoy the book, dip into it as you please, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. If you've enjoyed today's review, please hit the like button below, or if you're watching on YouTube, press subscribe.